I have sold all of my F Mount photographic stuff. Welcome to beer. Not the beer that you drink, beer the beach. This is an old family favourite. My grandparents used to come down here in grandparenting times, and my granddad did his engineering and his fixing boats and such like. And mind you, the boats are just fishing boats. Oh, Bella. When he was designing aero engines a long time ago, and then he would come down here and help the fishermen fix their boat. I'm going to have a cup of tea. There's always time for tea. We've got the Acratech panoramic head. We may not use it today. We've got a balancing Leo Photo Spirit balancing head. The plan today is very fluid. The one or two people from my camping channel, check out my camping channel if you've just done photo channel stuff. They'll have a better history and understanding of life. But at the moment we're basically, well, let's put it this way. This was always the mum's favourite place to come, and she passed away earlier this year, so I kind of have a read between the lines on that one. But yeah, I kind of got a reason for coming here. But I thought, while I'm down here, let's talk cameras, and we'll maybe try and grab couple of photographs. It's more just a chilling out, really. And I say I know where I was going on that. My dad's now with me. Flew in my eye. My dad's now with me because he can't walk. So he needs 2 carers 4 times a day. So basically, and because we've got to pay for it, unfortunately, I'm doubling up as one of the carers, but I take time off now and again. And I thought, the weather looks really nice today. I was thinking of going back into Bath and doing another street photo thing in Bath, and then I had something that I need to do later on, and yeah, I kind of thought, this is probably a good chance to just to get down here while the weather's nice, before it's really cold, wet, windy and miserable. And this is probably as close as I'm going to get to. I'm not really a beachy person, so I don't really sit on beaches. Good job I had a second spoon in here, because the first spoon that was in here I took out to clean. So it's a good job I had two spoons in there. I'll have to find the other one. Anyway, we're going to have a tea, and we're going to have a talk about cameras and the channel. Just a general whiffle waffle, really. I think tea is the most important thing, isn't it? Eh? Oh, Bella. I can't make tea with you. Oh, thank you. I always wanted a kiss. Thank you. I noticed on my videos recently, the ones on selling either the D4, D850, it's kind of got a few interesting comments. I'm going to read a couple of them. Someone has written, transferring images from the D4, Nikon D4 to your phone, or controlling the D4 with your phone works wirelessly with a WT5, which can be purchased on eBay for $100. This allows you to communicate with your D4 from anywhere in the world. You can remotely control the D4 with your phone without using any app. What's the problem? To be fair, I didn't know that. So that might be interesting for anyone who has a D4 and wants to be able to control it. Apparently you can use a WT5, whatever that may be. Now, interesting, the same person who commented that comment also commented another comment also on the D4 D850 video. I get the feeling you're very rich. No, I'm not very rich. I can afford to get cameras and nice stuff occasionally, but I do have to. Anyway, we'll keep going. We're gonna move on to things. I wish I was very rich, but yeah, I have to be careful. Anyway, let's carry on. A few years ago, actually, before I got married, it would have been a lot easier, let's say. Anyway, we're not married now, but we haven't got so much of the readies. Anyway, considering you're losing a lot of money when you sell your old gear, why don't you just keep it? And do you own two systems if mirrorless is so important to you? Why is mirrorless so important to you? Because it is supposed to be better, question mark, or because it is trendy right now, question mark. Well, I think the answer to that is, it is the new thing, it is the future. I don't think it's something that we're going to go back to mirrored cameras. I think mirrorless is the future. Well, it is better. Technology certainly has moved on. Focusing and all of that type of stuff is definitely better. Because it boosts your oh my god. You put me off. Why? Because ow! Oh, my legs are too bony for that. Because it's trendy right now, because it boosts your self-confidence instead of always being nostalgically photographed with a bulky D4 or D850. The D850 is even better than a Z8. I would have said, because I mean I've used both. I've used the D850 and the Z8. Personally, I prefer the Z8. I don't get me wrong, the D850 is an amazing camera. The D850, I would say, is not even arguably, is the best mirrored camera ever made, full stop, end of story. And is it better than the Z8? Yeah, I don't think it's better. They're basically the same thing. I don't think there's, it's the same thing. What's the difference? There isn't a difference. The main difference is obviously the focusing And you know, and it can detect eyeballs, it can detect eyeballs. Yeah, it can detect eyeballs. You can see your eyeballs. Yeah, you haven't got any other balls for it to try and detect, have you? No, you're a little girl. So yeah, I don't think it's trendy. And me, hell, it's just me and Simon and half a dozen other lonely lost sods out there who are ever going to watch me on this channel. So I really don't, and I don't know anyone. I'm a poor lost soul. I haven't got any friends. I don't do any groups. I don't do any clubs. I haven't got anything to show off to. You know, I just do things for me. And it just so happens that photography is something that I've enjoyed doing. Well, I'm 53 now, and I've enjoyed doing it for 45 years, something like that. To be fair, I have not had anything. Well, actually, that's not strictly true. Alamy still publishes stuff, so yeah, I think there's a few bits on Alamy that still get published. And I used to have stuff published in the 90s. But yeah, I really just do it for myself. And it's just something that, since my first wife died in 2010, I really loved photography. And then that happened, and I kind of started making camping videos. And I've just never really been able to get back into photography. And I'm kind of like sort of thinking, how can I, you know, and I'm kind of like sort of thinking, it's something I've always enjoyed. I used to do aviation photography, travel photography, and now I don't necessarily have a specific thing that I need or want to photograph. It's more, I don't know where the channel's going to go. We will discover that. Whoever watches, we will discover that ourselves. It's going to go wherever my legs take me. Wherever I go and I take a camera and I take a photograph or I film something. I just don't understand you photographers. You're so obsessed with technology. Well, isn't everybody? You just want to take photos and you're wasting time. Is taking photographs wasting time? Is it a waste of time going out, relaxing, having fun, and taking a photograph? What actually happens to all that old stuff? Well, it probably ends up on, well, in the olden days, you'd have slides. I used to use Kodachrome, Fujichrome. I mean, I remember the old Kodachrome 64, and you literally had an ISO of 64, and that was it. And if it got dark, you were fucked. And now you can just little dial on your thing, and up pops your ISO. I tell you, photographers now, you don't know you're born compared to, you know, filming 20, 30 years ago when you used to put Kodachrome 64 in your camera. You could get Kodachrome 200, but I always find that quite noisy or grainy. I never really liked Kodachrome 200, but Kodachrome 64 was really sweet. One day, what I'd like to do would be to go through some of my old slides, get one of those slide things that you can put slides in and turn them into a digital image, and, you know, go through some pictures that I did, you know, 20, 30, I don't know, about 40 years ago, but I wouldn't have had slides then. But, you know, yeah, I probably might do that one day when I've got time in the future. My dad's with me at the moment, but, you know, in the future, that's something to, the market is flooded I'm happy, but I still stand by the side of the road shaking my head. And that's a fair comment. You know, photography isn't for everybody, but obviously this nice kindly gentleman stopped by long enough to write those 2 messages and one more. It's very sad that you're selling your professional gear. Yeah, selling the old professional gear. Just because you hear that a mirrorless system is better, which I doubt. In any case, you can't tell from the pictures what type of camera it is taken with. No, I'd agree with that. You could take a photograph now or 20 years ago, and if you printed it, no, you probably couldn't tell what it was taken with. No, I would agree with that. I am a bit of a snob. No. No, I mean, I do like new stuff sometimes. The Nikon D850 and D4 don't compare that well. Well, no, but they're completely different, aren't they? One was, what, 45 megapixels and one was 16 megapixels. You couldn't really compare them. And as I probably mentioned in a previous video, the reason why I got the D4 when it came out is I didn't realize technology was going to move on. Should have figured that one out, shouldn't I? And yes, I had some money. Unfortunately, it was after Sue. I got the D4 and I just didn't use it, which is a shame. D4 is sufficient for everything with its 16 megapixels. You absolutely can't argue with that at all. It feels better and its data is less cumbersome on the PC. I love my D4S much more than my D5, but also love the D810, the predecessor to the D850. And the interesting thing is, I think I did get a D800 or a D810, one or the other, and I got it thinking that the video would be okay, and it wasn't. And that's another reason why I've gone to mirrorless, because of the video. To be fair, a large part of it is the video, a massive part, a huge part is the video. So yeah, I had the D800 or the D810, and then when the D850 came out, I thought, yeah, that has to be a better video camera. So I changed the D800, 810 to the D850, and it was still shit at video. Rubbish. I had the D700. That was a sweet camera, and it was the D700 because I was using going back way in the day. I started off with I had a Konica first, and then when I started selling photographs to a picture library, where you give the pictures to a picture library and then you hope they sell some, then I switched to the F801S, which was maybe around about 1994-ish. And then the D5 came out in about 96, 97-ish. And that was when I went to a big bulky camera. And I loved that D5. That traveled all around the freaking world with me. It was a beautiful camera. And I kept using that until from, 97 until maybe 2006-ish. I think I passed on the D100, I passed on the D200. When the D300 came out, I got the D300, and of course it was a crop sensor, then I had to get the crop sensor lenses and all that stuff. And it was okay, but I can't say that it blew my mind. It was okay. it did what it needed to do, but it wasn't an F5. It's completely, can't compare them, obviously. And then the the D700 came out by 2008, and I got that, and that obviously was a full frame camera, and that just blew my mind. That was such a fabulous camera. If anyone wants a really basic, back to bare bones digital camera, no frills, that's probably bargain basement price and is digital, and you don't want to do any video, that D700 is superb. Really, really nice. I got quite a few nice photos on that. But of course, yes, I did get the 14 to 24 2.8. I did get the 24 to 70 2.8, and I got the 70 to 200 2.8 because I could. Keep your DSLR gear. Instead, just sell your unused heavy lenses and invest them in a nice trip to East Asia, Africa, or South America. We photographers, so you are a photographer then, so you don't just stand on the side of a road laughing at other photographers, you are a photographer yourself. Although I checked on here, he's only just joined YouTube, so he's a sneaky one. We photographers also suffer from a compulsive buying habit, which is artificial in most cases. Despite all the system changes, the manufacturers are not meeting their sales target, hence the hype about nothing. This doesn't make the world a better place. Nothing has changed, be honest. Yeah, I would agree with that. Nothing has changed. But technology does move on. We can now make video with a camera, which we couldn't do before, and we can make, well, to be fair, I'm not the world's best photographer. I'm not the world's best videographer. I'm as basic and simple. I do it for myself because I can. But yes, I would agree that, you know, unless those things are important to you, nothing has changed. And I still had, taking the photographs with the F5. Mind you, I was traveling more then. It is something I would like to try and do, you know, again in the future with some more travel. We will see. I must admit, at the moment, as I say, I'm looking after my dad to try to look after some inheritance, being nice about it. I do like nice kit. I will be getting more nice kit. I probably will concentrate on that, but yes, yeah. You know, it would be nice to travel somewhere and do more stuff. And just share it on here. I mean, I don't have a specific output. I don't have a website. You know, it literally is just what I shoot. Maybe I will try and put some more up on Alamy at some point. I probably should try and do some more of that sometime when I get round to it in the future. But really for the moment, I'm just, because it's been so long since I've done photography, really at the moment, and because my time is really tied at the moment, really at the moment, I just want to try and get back into doing, just want to try and get back into basically just taking bloody photographs. It doesn't really matter what it is, where it is, or anything. You know, it can be anything or anywhere really, and I try and do some more street photography and such like. Anyway, after all that waffling, I'm gonna have another cup of tea. I put you up there. You're actually being supported, for those of you who are interested, on a carbon 6X Gitzo GT2541 tripod, which I bought 25 years ago. So some stuff that you bought in yester millennium, you know, still serves very well today. And specifically, exactly what I've currently got right now. And all of my camera stuff, which I currently have right now, is in this bag. I have sold all of my F Mount photographic stuff, including the 500mm f4 lens. It was a really, really tough decision to sell that. The last time that I used it, it's a fantastic lens, and I will have to think about getting something else. For the moment, basically, that's my wallet. I'm basically going to chuck it in the sea so that it doesn't go anywhere near a Nikon 600mm f4 teleconverter lens, because yeah, they're in a different category of cost. But I've just got it in my mind that I really want one of those, and at the moment I'm not going to go that far. But I'm basically just selling stuff, trying to make a bit of money so that I can save up to get some new stuff. So I've sold my 105 macro lens, so all the F Mount stuff is gone, and this is all stuff that at some point I will want to replace. So like and subscribe, follow the channel, comment below. You inspire me, I inspire you, and maybe we can get some ad revenue on this channel that can help pay for some new kit in the future, or pay for kit that I've already bought. I will want to get another 105 macro. I will want to get another 1424 f2. I've been looking at videos on the 85 1.4, and I can see the 85 1.2 looks really sweet, but that will have to keep. I'm particularly interested to see what the new Z9 Mark II looks like, because I've sold all of my F Mount stuff. So my D850 I sold, as you know, a few months ago, and in the last month I sold my D4. I wasn't using it, and I've just got this thing that, let's switch over completely. Let's not mess around with converters and having an extra couple of inches between your camera and an old lens. Let's switch over completely and build a new system from scratch. Where's the dog gone? Anyway, you've waited long enough. Let's see what we've got in here. It's no real surprises, to be honest, because if you've been following the channel, then you will know what lenses and cameras I've got. But basically, ooh, that's clever. That could have been interesting. If you take your camera out, be careful not to press the camera release button. Bloody hell. Oh God, honestly, there's no way. So we've got oh my God. So we've got the Z5 II, just about, and the 24 to 120 f4, which we'll put in there and we won't knock with our fingers. Come on. And then the Z8 with the 100 to 400, 4.5, 5.6. And at the moment, this is all I've got. That's now my camera setup. To be honest, that is more than enough for any use that you're ever going to want. You've got two camera bodies. So yeah, so be careful when you're picking a camera up, because I think I picked that up pressing that button in. You need to be careful with that one. Yeah, one of the reasons why I went for the Z5 II was it beats the D4 in low light. On the DxO charts and all that gubbin stuff, it beats the D4. I was looking at the ZF, the retro ZF, and for a month or two, I'm by the sea, so I'll cover that back up. For a month or two, I was thinking of the ZF, because I quite like the idea of the retro camera feel. And then I started reading watching videos and the reviews and such like, and that the Z5 II is basically exactly the same camera as the ZF. And it just has, I think, for me, better controls and a hand grip. And I think for what I do, a hand grip, you know, is particularly, you know, useful if I'm walking around, because that is a really nice hand grip. I mean, I can hold, you know, that is a very nice hand grip. It's a really nice camera, the Z5 II. So basically I've got 24 to 120 and then 100 to 400. And really, I mean, to be fair and honest with you, that covers everything that I'm ever going to need. I definitely will want a wide angle at some point, because like I said, I had the 14 to 24. I was looking at the 14 to 30 or whatever it is, the F4 version, but I like the 2.8 version in that for night photography, if I ever do that. What's that? Oh, she's behind me. So I will want to get that at some point. So I definitely want to get that. I definitely want to get a macro lens, because I want to do some close-up pictures of something. So those two lenses I had and sold, and I would definitely want to replace them moving forward. My 500 f4, I would definitely want to replace that at some point, somehow, some way. And then, like I said, I had the 85 1.4. I didn't really use it that much, but it kind of could be fun to try something with that. I really want to see that Z9 too, for the, you know, for the big body. So yeah, so that's the cameras that we've got at the moment. And said gentleman is right. We don't need, well, I don't need that. I could get away with my phone. Or what I'm filming on now with DJI Action 5 thing, but it's nice to have. I don't go out, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I've given up chasing women. They're more hassle than they're worth, and they're too fucking expensive. So I may as well put my money to. I haven't got any children. I've got 3 bloody dogs now and 6 bloody cats. So that lot's gonna keep my hands tied up. Then that also limits one's ability to get out a little bit as well. Or we will, if anyone watches, if anyone knows a good house sitter who's or someone who would house sit, because getting out, it's all very well getting the staff, and I like the idea that gentleman personage said about traveling somewhere. I'm not a group person though. I wouldn't want to go do something. I'm not one of these people that would want to do like a group safari. I'd like to do a one-on-one safari. I've got the Kase filter system, so we might just try and get a few pictures on the beach here in a minute of the waves and some neutral density stuff. So yeah, that's my camera setup at the moment. I was looking at the 24 to 200, 4.5, 6.3. I might get that one day, given it's not an S-line. I hear it's a very, very good lens. And it's lighter. It's lighter than my 24 to 120. Because I will try and take some photographs occasionally when I'm hiking and camping, and that would be nice to maybe try and combine the two. I don't know, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's play it all by ear and just have fun. I think that's the important thing. I think people put too much pressure, and I think YouTubers put too much pressure on themselves, trying to put out a perfect video, and then they get upset when they don't get very many views and that type of thing. I've been doing, this channel is obviously very new, but I've been doing YouTube for 14 years. And never very successfully. But I enjoy it. And photography is something that I've always enjoyed. So, maybe there is some way that I can do things that 1 or 2 or 3 other people will enjoy as well. Anyway, that's where we are. That's the kit that we've got now. That's a few thoughts on the channel, a few thoughts on where we're going or not going, what we maybe like to do, because I'm open to anything really. And we will see what happens.